Alright, ignore my voice. It's a little bit messed up right now, but I want to talk about Upward Last. So, Upward Last, I can tell you right now, the issues you're having is pushing. I didn't look over the demos, I can already just tell there isn't an issue with holding, there's always an issue with pushing. My, my mic wasn't the right way. Point is, your pushes, right? There's two steps to this push. One is getting the enemy out of tiles, and two is actually finishing the push and getting the card over. Most teams that I see have issues getting tiles control. So, how to get tiles control is usually through an Uber. The Uber doesn't work, then you're not sending your stacks properly. So, one thing right away I saw you typing is that you couldn't get people through into clock here. You don't get people through clock here. If you are relying on trying to get people through this doorway, you are playing this last wrong. This last is it should be impossible to get through this choke. The only thing you should be sending through this choke is a sniper on the stairs here, right? And then when you're okay. Let me talk about sniper in general first. Sniper can play a few different angles, right? Like there's an angle here that he can play, like in main, right? There's this angle, right? And this is just when he doesn't have tiles, right? When he does have tiles, what you need to be doing is playing your sniper in tiles, but when you don't have tiles, those are like the main two areas you can watch, right? Like there's like this angle on this window, and there's like the other window. I don't know if this angle is still a thing. I don't think it is. I think it's removed in this version. Anyway, point is, those are like the two main angles for sniper. If you are going to have your sniper around main, you need to be dedicating more than just your engineer or making sure your engineer has a level gun. If your engineer only has a mini, it's really easy for a soldier to spam out the mini and coordinate or have their spy sack with like to sap the mini, not sack, and then coordinate. The scout runs in because there's a sap. And now your sniper's dead, and your NG is trying to 1v2 a spy and scout without a mini, which usually will fail. So, if you're going to have your sniper here, usually you should dedicate another player here than just your engineer, which should be either your pyro if you're actively not pushing, and your medic is kind of like, just playing around here. It's okay to play with your pyro here. Or you can have your scout or soldier here if they're not doing anything on the flank. But usually you want to dedicate an extra player with your sniper here. Soldier's good because soldier can like play around here. You don't get spam as well into their combo, and you can also spam the dispenser spot for the spy. If your sniper wants to play around here, right, and peek into this window, right, you need to have your pyro here. The only option that you can have is have your pyro here because most likely a soldier or the demo man is going to see that and just try and push into you. If your pyro's here, now the soldier and demo can't shoot their weapons without fear. So have your pyro here with your sniper. And yeah, this can be a really good angle. Next, I will talk about the flank. So I talked about sniper. I talked about spy briefly. I guess I'll finish spy. Trying to rely on your spy getting up into tiles is awful. I would not rely on your spy getting into tiles. There's two things your spy can do. Number one, go for gun and NG and just harass up top there, which requires the dispenser dead from your soldier by just like walking in like here and just spamming that. Your soldier doesn't even have to. I see a lot of soldiers like overextend into main just to spam. All you need to do is hit this wall anywhere, and you're good. So that is what your spy should be doing. Just harassing the NG, making sure that that dispenser goes down. Even if like you're sapping the dispenser, that's fine. The other thing I said that spy can do two things is maybe play gun spy, play dead ringer, harass their flank with your flank. So you can play under, you can play dead ringer maybe into tiles. There's a possibility as well. Like if you're playing dead ringer, there's a possibility of you getting up here, dead ringing, and then somehow, without bumping them, getting back here. A little bit more reliable than trying to cloak, but a little bit more predictable as well. So it's a trade-off. The other thing is you can have your spy just play gun spy with your sniper, right? And have that extra protection instead of like the soldier, as I mentioned before. If he is playing main. So flank, either playing around your sniper in main or going for picks on enemies that are free. One thing I will recommend is this is just like downtime, like you're not sacking, by the way. I'll talk about sacks in a bit. I'm just talking about basic stuff now. Um, soldier, if your soldier and scout get under control, it is really good. Either through killing their combo or whatever. You can shoot through these boards and you can spam their gun really easily from here without getting shot. The other thing you can do is make sure you get the dispenser from down here. And you can also spam the gun from like this without being seen if you don't want to spam through the boards. If you're on like stock rocket launcher and not original, you don't want to guess where your rockets are going, you can do something like that. Right? If you have under control and their whole team is in tiles, the best thing you can do as soldier when you're not sacking is to get the dispenser for your spy and just make that engineer's life a living hell. If you do get the gun down, or let's say your spy gets the sap and maybe a stab too, right? You can always bomb up here, right? Like if you bomb up into their spawn because they don't have a sentry, you now deny their engineer from building a gun for however long, and that might lead to your team getting some cart time. That could lead to you spawn killing maybe like a scout that's on respawn, or their sniper maybe could be on respawn, whatever, their engineer could be on respawn. You can control their spawn. Make this jump so you can see. So if you're controlling this, right, like you're just sitting up here passively, obviously their sniper's gonna be an issue, but you can also spam into their combo really easily. They're gonna be looking at you as well, and you don't have a health pack up here, so you're not gonna live forever. But yeah, the main thing is just you can even just stand up here and make their engineer's life a hell so you can't build. Or if you just don't really care about the engineer, then you can obviously just spam into their combo, right? Like you can spam there, you can spam there, you can spam there. A lot of different options. But yeah, that's what your soldier should be doing on downtime. Right. Your scout can be supporting your soldier or going for back cap time on the cart. Scout is not that good on upward last just because it's all tiny choke points that he can't really dodge through. And there's, you know, offense on payload. So, I talked about the flank. What should your combo be doing? So, if you don't have Uber, your combo is most of the time just going to be sitting around twiddling their thumbs. You can be helping in whatever situation I just talked about, but mostly you should be going for stack waves if your combo's up and you don't have Uber and you're not exchanging. So, what I was talking about, soldier getting under control and spamming the gun, you can send your combo under and they're gonna be like, oh, they're coming under, so their team's gonna be ready to look here. But in reality, you're just getting this cleared, so now your soldier can spam gun, your demo can help spam gun, right? You just need to be worried about the wrap, and you need to be either dedicating your heavy or your pyro to making sure that this is cleared. And you don't even have to commit your med. Like, you can play your med around here with, like, heavy pyro, and then your demo and soldier and whatever that you don't have up here can go under and just get those kills. You don't even have to commit heals. You can play heals passive, and I would recommend playing heals passive. So, a thing I see a lot happen, and is never really punished, but it should be, is teams without Uber sending their medic down here. If your medic does not have Uber and he's down here, the enemy team should be just collapsing on this. Either doing something like this with their Uber and just saying fuck it and Ubering down here, because now, right, if you drop down with your heavy and demo and you Uber here, their medic is kind of trapped. More trapped than if you're trying to go down there. And you can probably send a player up top there and try and wrap them down that way too. But yeah, you just take your demo here, and your demo just puts stickies at this doorway, right? And now, unless these traps are cleared, their medic, who is down here, has 0 options of leaving. And your medic is safe because you just popped Uber, and you have a way to leave, right? Obviously, you're going to want to get back into tiles after this, but after killing you should be able to wipe most of their combo here. And if you don't, then, I mean, you can still, just go back up this way as well, because you're Ubered here. This should be punished. If their medic is down here without Uber, like if their combo's like here and they're trying to spam into you, don't Uber here, because they're just going to walk away. Drop down all the way here, and then Uber here, and trap off this, and now their medic has nowhere to go. Very uncommon thing, but it works, and I don't see teams doing it. So that's pretty much it for combo, right? Like you play around your flank, you can play around your sniper as well in downtime. The main thing you need to be doing is sacks. So when I talked about this, getting through this is awful. It still is in sack waves. I wouldn't really recommend sending anybody here unless it's an unimportant class to the sack wave that won't do anything other than draw eyes, like heavy. So heavy in the sack wave could walk up here, and now their soldier or demo who has to play clock has to focus this, right? He has to shoot everything into here. You might even have to like back off, grab the pack, kind of like play passive, because heavy's maybe even buff, 300 HP, 450 HP, whatever. He's gonna be too tanky that he can just walk in there. You should be sending your soldier from under, right? This is a very easy pogo. You just jump up there, pogo off that, really easy. And then what you want to do is just send your demo either through under with your scout and pyro, or you can just come in through tracks if you know where their sniper is, not watching tracks and you have control. You can just walk in here for more of a surprise sack. The main thing you're relying on these sacks is your soldier taking advantage of the drawn eyes from this and clock, right? Your soldier should not be the first one going in. He's gonna get shot by the sentry gun, but it shouldn't deny his bomb just the way the sentry is. Like, I don't think the sentry doesn't reach you, right? Like he has to wrangle it, so it's gonna be a surprise sack. It'll be fine. If medics are playing here, you can also send through Harry Potter, although it's a little bit more predictable, right? Like you have to jump in from here to there. Like if you're a soldier and you don't know this jump, you want to jump from here into that doorway, and then you'll be behind them. I can't do it as scout, but you get the idea that you'll be here now, and then you can jump up here and sack. But yeah, your soldier wants to delay, and so your soldier can be in last, right? You want everybody to, you want the heavy to be shooting your demo, you want their demo to be shooting your demo, you want everybody to be looking here and here. And then your soldier comes in and just is here, and everybody's busy, or the heavy might be shooting him, whatever. If the heavy's here, he might be spammed off the angle from your demo, and now their medic is screwed. That's how to do a sack wave. Improper sack waves is your soldier going first, or you committing too many resources to this tiny little doorway. Sure, the stairs is also a tiny little doorway, right? But the main idea is to draw eyes. So, that is the sack wave. Uber pushes. Uber pushes into tiles need to take advantage of how many people they have in tiles and try and get either a lot of damage done or picks. Either a lot of damage done picks or flashes, right? And when you take this Uber, ideally you take it solo on your demo. Sometimes your pyro needs to be in if they're gonna take their pyro as well. But ideally, your demo gets to a spot like around here with the Uber, and he's trapping off this, or just putting sticks here, and he's also spamming whatever is not flashed, right? And if you have a solo demo, you can turn this into a better Uber, right? Like if they have 3 or 4 players that are just like chilling, like, oh no, I'm out of the Uber, your demo should be able to spam them and make them get flashes or get kills. Sniper, sometimes engineer will play up here. I've seen a lot more engineers with gun here, which is bad because all you need to do is send your sniper and soldier into main to spam it. Sorry, taking a drink. So, your demo focuses the unflashed players and getting as much space as possible. Things that should not be happening on this Uber. If their pyro is not taking the Uber, your pyro does not take the Uber. Your heavy should not be taking the Uber whatsoever. Your heavy should be healthy and have crit heals for post if possible. Right? And on the solo demo, you take the space up if you can, since their pyro's not in it. If your pyro's in it, then your pyro air blast their pyro, and you try and get as much space as possible, and you try and just make them, use as much resources for you. If their Uber is better, you need to leave this staircase. It is a bad exchange at that point. From there, it's okay to commit heals, reload, and try and spam and put pressure here. The issue is don't expect pressure to come from here, because a soldier will solo hold this down, and you will be screwed. Anything that tries to walk in here will be screwed. If your soldier tries to walk in here, he is going to get 1v1'd and lose, because there's a health pack here. If your scout and soldier try to walk through here and try and 2v1, they're gonna get screwed, because this tiny little doorway scout cannot avoid damage. And again, the soldier has a health pack here. Ideally, you don't really send people here, unless it's a big vulnerability, like you kill their soldier and their demo's in the Uber. Now your flank can understand these calls that are being made and see that their soldier's dead and probably walk in here, right? But yeah, your pressure needs to be mainly from combo having a better Uber. And if you're not having a better Uber, then I mean, it's you're not going to get a better exchange, but you need to be doing these sack waves properly, right? So then you have full ad. That is the first part of Upward. That is the part of Upward that people have difficulties with. Now the first part of Upward last is what I meant. The second part of Upward last is you own tiles, their team is bunkering down in their spawn, and they're just not letting you get the cart. How do you deal with that? Well, you shouldn't have your combo in here for too long. It's okay to have your combo in here, get healed up, reload, and then from there, you should be getting the gun, spamming the gun. And after the gun's down, you need to be dropping down. When you drop down on it's either you need to be dropping down and just be killing them, or you need to be dropping down and helping with the cart. Right? If the cart's way back here, you shouldn't drop down and be way back here. You need to be dropping down on this right side. And the point of dropping down on this right side is that it's really easy to deny this heavy from doing anything. And also, you are shooting everything that is avoiding a sniper angle, right? Your demo can spam up here, you can shoot here easily, right? The only thing that is kind of in cover now is this, and barely that because you can shoot it as well. Your sniper needs to be in tiles with your engineer. Engineer could be pushing cart, but it's way better just to like have a mini here so they can't jump through this window, right? There's no point in having an aggressive mini, because if you have a mini here, it's not going to see anything. It's going to be out of range. Maybe you wrangle, but it's not really, wrangling is not going to do too much. But just have a passive mini, protect your sniper from spy, from soldier, from anything trying to get your sniper, and your soldier watches half of the entire point you should tell your sniper, do not take the SBS, because now you're going to lose your sniper. If their sniper's on this right side, you can now just play like this. You deny half of their entryways to shoot the cart, right? And then your combo drop down right side, and now your combo is denying the other side, right? If their sniper is for some reason playing the left side, you can always just play like this, or play in the window, right? Don't take the SVS here, because you're not gonna have a buff, because your medic's not gonna be with you. Your NG's gonna be with you to protect you. Um, and yeah, have your combo, get healed, drop down here. You don't need Uber to drop down. And when you drop down, your scout should be on the cart, right? Your pyro can also be near the cart as well, right? Just kind of like playing for this little bit of cart time. And your soldier can do one of two things. Your soldier can either bomb up top left here, which I see pretty common. It's not bad. The issue is that most of the time soldiers will get killed. You don't want your soldier dead. The other thing is you can just play for spam, right? Like your combos over here, you can just play around the cart, spam whatever entranceway they're trying to come. You'd even like walk to the stairs here and just spam this. Now nobody can come in through lower without eating a bunch of damage. And your team's kind of like locking down the right side and upper. Um, you can always bomb upper if they're all just sitting in pub spot. The bomb is fine, and dying for that bomb is fine, because now they have to look at you, not cart, and you're gonna do massive damage if they're all grouped up in one area. So yeah, just focus on the cart time when your combo drops down. Have your sniper in tiles with your engineer. That's the ideal push on this last. If it does not work after the first push, but their team is bunkering down, you need to be setting up the same thing, where your combo groups up in upper, your sniper's in upper, your engineer's in upper, your scout is outside of main waiting to push the cart, right? You group up here, and it's the exact same thing. You don't need Uber to drop down. Obviously, you don't want to drop down if they have Uber add. At this point, you can stay up top and either do a sack, or you can do a sack with cart time, or you can just stand up top and try and spam them and try and sack the cart while you're spamming them without committing further medic is fine, because if you get too much cart time, they're gonna have to Uber on a cart, and that can give you Uber advantage, or get rid of theirs, whatever. But yeah, main point is you can be dropping down. You can either drop down through that window or drop down boxes. Boxes a little bit more risky to sniper, but you will also see a lot more before you drop down, and you can also spam their gun a lot easier. That is upward last. Took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but it is what it is.